Hi, and welcome to Fire Engineering's On the Road with Bobby Halton, and we are back again this year live 2008 at FDIC, and we couldn't be happier to be here with our best friends in the Courage and Valor Foundation, the sons of legendary Ray Downey, Chuck and Joe Downey. And Chuck, brother, we're good to have you back. We didn't have you last year, and Chuck had a ear infection, had you down, so
yes,
great to have you back. And
great
home
to
run
be
today on the stage. Joe, as always, wonderful to see you. Joe had to carry the ball. He said, I'm always carrying this guy. That's what he said. I'm not trying to give him up or anything on camera.
That's what older brothers do. They have to.
No, yeah. He said, I'm always carrying that kid, for God's sakes. Well, thanks again for coming back. And for those of you out there who may not know, we do the Courage and Valor Foundation, and it's a legacy foundation for Chief Ray Downey. And if there was ever a man who embodied what honor, integrity, courage, all the values that people talk about and throw around today, he lived them. He didn't have to tell people how to behave. You just had to watch what he did and learn. And so I was totally enveloped in Ray's teaching and totally enveloped in his culture. And you just couldn't help but fall in love with him from the very first minute you met him, not only as a teacher, but as a friend and a fellow firefighter. And your dad, anytime I had a question, I could call him up. Anytime I had a problem, you could turn to him. And I used to cheat, because people didn't understand, but your dad would get up about 5:30 every morning. He'd throw on his shorts or his sweats, and he would run. And if he was smart, in Indy, you'd catch Chief Downey jogging. And he wasn't fast. He was good.
Slow and steady.
He was slow and steady. So you could get right up on him, and he'd talk to you. And he would talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. And that's how I got to be closer to your dad, because I would get out and run. And back then, it was just, the two of us. Not a lot of guys were running back then, not like today, thank goodness. That's one of the things we want to talk about today, too. But first, let's talk a little bit about the Courage and Valor Foundation. And what that does is, in your dad's memory, people are making donations, and we're growing this fund. And then we honor a fireman every year who reminds us of what your dad would have done, so to speak. And this year, we have a really good guy. What do you think of Mike? What do you think of the good kid? Huh?
Yeah, we got to meet him yesterday, before we knew who he was. And we got to meet him in the lobby. And he was a tremendous guy, very humble, laid back, sort of didn't want to approach us, but wanted to say hello. And we were talking about it, and we felt that he did embody our dad, the way military, the type of person he seems like he is in the short time we spent with him. We felt really honored to meet him, and that he was the candidate this year.
Yeah, he did a great job. Now, how do we get to Mike? How does Mike become the Courage and Valor winner, Chuck? How's this work?
Well, there's nominations sent in throughout the country, and there's a selection committee that the National Fallen Firefighters alumni and the association, right?
Right.
They both get together, look at the nominations, and then the top 3 or 4 some years are presented to the next step, which is Joe and I and Bobby and Penwell. There's about 6 of us on the final selection committee that we review.
And here's our dilemma, and this is why we want to talk to you all today. Firefighters, much like your dad, and your dad used to say that, we're just doing our job.
Just doing the job.
Just doing our job. Oklahoma City, just doing our job. First World Trade, just doing our job. Northridge, your old man went to Northridge, didn't he? I think your old man went to that, didn't he? So, just doing his job, and all the other jobs he did. There's the dilemma. We need to hear from people. Now, you can go online and download the Courage and Valor nomination. It's not tough. Or you can send them direct to me at penwell.com. My name's in there, my email's in there. Or if you want to send them to Chuck or Joe, their emails are out there. We need to hear your stories.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much courage and valor out there every day in the United States that these guys need to be honored for what they do day in and day out. The humble part of it's got to be put aside at times, and we got to recognize them. And we're proud to recognize them in our dad's name. And they should be proud to submit their applications so we can see who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think what you're saying, and I mean, we grew up with it. My father was very humble and always said, doing your job. But some of my memories of the fire department, when I wasn't even on the fire department, was Dad at Medal Day receiving an award. He was very humble, but that was a great day for the family. He's being honored, showing what he did and didn't want to be honored. And I think, like Lieutenant Cabral said today, he said the true heroes are those 2 little kids that were able to survive through that. And it's, I think, yeah, we don't like to talk about ourselves, we don't like to honor ourselves, but it's a great day for your family and obviously the family of those who we save. So definitely step forward and send us your, any actions, any rescues, anything. Send it in.
And they got to be for this year, 2008. So from January to January is what we look at. 2008. Send us what's happening right now in your department. Somebody you think that made a great grab or did something heroic. Let us know. We'd really appreciate it, and we'll put it to the board. Now, let's talk about fun runs for a minute, because we got a couple we want to pitch. This year we're doing the first fun run at FDIC in your dad's name for Courage and Valor. But every year we do a fun run on Long Island. Tell a little bit about that. Let's see if we can.
On Father's Day, Bob, we have a fun run, and we started it 7 years ago, a small event, and we've grown to over 2,000 runners, 2,000 just family members that cheer on the runners, plus about 500 kids in a kids' fun run. It's not only a Father's Day fun run and family, it's a family event. It's a barbecue, DJ, bouncies for the kids, awards, prizes, raffles. It's just a full day event that most of the people come love it.
Outstanding.
Bear truck, obviously, with the fire
Now,
department.
what town is this in?
This is in Deer Park.
In Deer Park.
Where my mom still lives and where we all grew up. It's on a football field, the Knights of Columbus, that my father started the football program, youth football, started the roller hockey program there. So it has a lot of meaning to us where we grew up. We were always down at the football field or the hockey field, and Dad was doing community service through the Knights of Columbus, and so we hold the event there. It starts and finishes there. Like Joe said, we grow each year, and there's probably 4,000 to 5,000 people that are at this event. From the kids run is at 9:30 in the morning on Father's Day, and we wrap up by 12, 1 o'clock sometimes.
Yeah, actually this year, Bob, they're renaming the complex after Dad, the Ray Downey Sports Complex.
Well, I'll definitely.
Yeah, they just put a softball field with the football field, and at our event, we're gonna rename it in my dad's name. Just another honor he's receiving.
I can't wait to be there. Now, next year at FDIC, 2009. Right, I'm getting my years right. Next year at FDIC on April the 25th, we're going to run here, and I'm going to try to squeeze these two guys to get me a Saturday. And I really thank you for coming. Every year they come and they do this, and it costs you vacation and you're away from your families, and we appreciate it. But we really want to get you to run at the second annual Ray Downey. It's going to be a Saturday, and we have a couple hundred guys signed up already for the run this Friday. We're running on a Friday morning. A couple hundred guys are going to show up and run, so we couldn't be prouder. I tell you, your dad would be mad at us for all this fuss about him, but men like your dad and the man we honored today, Mr. O'Donnell from Indianapolis, and men like Mike Cabral, and the list goes on, Pete Gansey, and some of the giants in this industry that really taught us how to live, and taught us how to be gentlemen, and taught us how to treat one another with respect and dignity. That's really what the fire service is about. I mean, we go around pounding our chests, and we go where you fear and all that stuff. Those guys weren't that way.
No.
Those guys were all quiet, gentle men. But like Father Burns said this morning, they'd come. If you call, they're coming. A great story that was.
That was a great story.
If you weren't here at FDIC this year, you missed a great, a great opening day. Next year will be better. Downey Brothers will be back with me. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this morning. We love you guys.
Thank you, Bobby. It's great what you do.
All the time. No, we
Thank
love
you.
We love you all. Remember Courage and Valor, and remember the fun run next year. And if you're in the Long Island area, Deer Park on Father's Day, we'll see you all there at the dedication of the new Ray Downey Sports Complex. So from Fire Engineering and myself, be safe out there. And this is Bobby Halton on the road.